Okay, welcome. This is May something, day before Mother's Day, 2020. We are all home, and I thought I would put the musical portions of the first 5 classes that we offered at Crestwin, if we can get there, onto a video record so that we can review them whenever we want to. Originally, I had hoped to do the whole thing, but I think it's going to be hard to go over the absolute basics. The website that I always had everybody read was CWUKESchool.com, and this morning I didn't see it come up on my internet. But the basics are, and they're holding the ukulele to get it up. Hold it with your arm here and just rest it in your hand here. To tune the ukulele, so I'm going to assume that we can hold it. I'm going to assume we can tune it. I'm going to assume that we know that the chords are, that the notes are G from the top closest to your nose, G, C, E, A, which our class thinks is George Clooney eats apples. George Clooney eats apples. And we kind of have it in our mind that this piece at the end here, crossbar at the end, is the nut. These are the frets, and the frets are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to whatever. Most ukuleles have little dots on the side of them to tell you where the 3rd and the 5th and the 7th and the 10th and the 12th ones are. And again, to fretting involves holding, a string makes a noise by vibrating. So if we hit that string closest to our nose, it vibrates at this length and makes this G tone. And then if we put our finger down and push the string against the fretboard, now the string rings from where the fret is, that we're behind the first fret here, and the string rings from that first fret to the end of the bridge. So here's open, and here's that fretted at the, we call that fretting at the first fret. We're not on the first fret because it sounds like that, but we're right behind the first fret. So here's fretting first string open, here's on the 2nd fret. And again, we're fretting not on the fret, but right behind the fret. On it will cause it to buzz, behind it. Okay? So that's kind of the basics. So we can practice placing our fingers right behind that fret and make sure that we get a nice sound. 3rd, last string. So that will give us, that's when we make our chords, we're going to put our fingers in those positions right behind the fret on the proper string to make a chord. So let's start with our C chord. And our C chord is going to be the string closest to the floor. And we're going to hold down the 3rd fret, right behind the 3rd fret. So there's open, there's 1, 2, 3. So that's our C chord. I make that nice and pretty. Okay? And then we're going to have hold our uke, or you can use a strap. But it's good to know how to hold one so you can play lots of different ukes if you don't have a strap. And then to make sounds with it, we're just going to strum down across the strings from the string closest to our nose to the one closest to the floor. And that makes a chord. That's our C chord. And then we're going to strum that 4 times down. We're going to sing, go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So kind of just practice that a little bit, nice and even. 2, 3, 4. And the song that we're going to start with is the Hokey Pokey, and that will be our first chord. And the song goes, you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. So that's the song we're heading to. So we can sing that one, know the words to that one. And most of the song is that C chord. So eventually it's going to sound like, you put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in and then we're going to play a G7 chord. Shake it all about. So we'll work on that. Right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in so that's that C chord. Then the next chord we're going to play is the G7 chord, and that holds down 3 fingers. And the string closest to your nose is open. Your middle finger will play this next string on the 2nd fret, behind the 2nd fret. The index finger will play the 3rd string on the 1st fret, and then the ring finger will play the string closest to the floor on the 2nd fret. So it makes a little triangle. Guitar players that'll look like a D7, but on a ukulele it's a G7. So if we were to make a diagram of this, it would look like, let's see, where am I? I'm right here. So I need to get this someplace you can see that. G, C, C, and G7. All right, right there, right there. So it says the string, and this looks exactly like this. We're looking at the first thing is the nut, and then the 1st fret, 2nd fret, and our finger is that red dot for the C chord on the 3rd, on the string closest to the floor, and on the 3rd fret. So here we are looking at a ukulele. Here's the string closest to the floor, and 1, 2, 3. All right? And then the G7 chord is going to be, I'm so confused. G7 chord's right there. And that's going to be the 1st string, the one closest to your nose, is going to be open. And then the 2nd fret on the next string, 1st fret on the 3rd string, and the one closest to the bottom of the ukulele to the floor is going to be 2nd fret. So it's going to look like this. 1st string open, 2nd fret right behind the 2nd fret, index finger right behind the 1st fret, ring finger right behind the 2nd fret. And that's hard for just beginning, but you practice those. And then we will practice by changing between the two. So we're going to play our C chord, and then we're going to play our G7 chord, and our C chord, and our G7. So when you make the G7, you kind of plant your index finger on that second string, and the other two just fall into place there. C chord, G7, C, G7. And then with all of our chord changes, we will practice by playing counts of 8 to start with, and then change. So we'll go C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, G7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And then after you do those 8s, you can go back to play, you can go try them on changing on the 4s. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll practice those. Now let's go back to our song. You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. You do is where we're going to change. Do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around, and then back to the first chord, the C chord. So this is the other technique when we're learning a song or practicing a song, is we can just play where the changes are. So if we have it written out, we can see the changes, but if we're just going to play it, we can listen for the changes. And it's a little confusing to start, but it will be okay. It'll be okay for you. Let me see if we can try that. So the changes are: you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, and now the G7, shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around, then back to the C. That's what it's all about. No, that's what it's all about. About, and we change it. So let's do another verse just like that, just playing one time when the chords change. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Okay, so those are our two changes. Put your right arm in, you put your right arm out, you put your right arm in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. So shout and bout. We're going to go from our C to our G7 and our G7 to our C. Then the next thing we would do in learning a song is we would play it with just downstrokes. And we'd play on every stroke, just like our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the C chord, put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in, and you shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left arm in, you put your left arm out, you put your left arm in, and you shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. And so we can do that on our 2-chord songs as a way of starting. And the next thing we will add is we're going to change our down, down, down strum to a down, up, down, up. We're going to keep that same speed, that same rhythm. And if we were to play our C to G7 on 8 count, but the stroke is going to go down, up, down, up, down, up. So practice that. It's down. I use my fingernail going down and the pad of my finger coming up. Down, up, down, up, up, down, up. So we do that on the 8s, starting on the C. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Change 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so that is playing those changes on the 8s. Now let's change on the 4s. So we're going to go down, 2, 3, change 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to take a little practice to get both those things going at once. But we're just working on making nice C chords, nice G7 chords, and keeping a nice steady rhythm. So if we go back to the hokey pokey, we're going to play just the changes. We're going to play, put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Now let's do it with the downstrokes. Put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Now let's do the same thing with a down up stroke. Same speed, but down, up, down, up. So you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in, and change, shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Okay, good. And on this video, I'm going to do one more little strum using that same song, those same chords, but that'll give us 3 strums. And then next time we'll add try some different songs to practice with, and then we'll start changing chords and eventually adding another strum. All right, so the next strum we're going to learn, we've learned the down, 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 down. We've learned the down, up, down, up. This time we're going to learn down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's still going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. All those down strokes are on the downbeat, but we're going to come back up on the in between. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 is the down, and then down, up would be down, up, down, up, down, up. We would count that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 4, and we're going to call that probably down, up. So if we do, put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. And if we do it down, up, we're just going to go, put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your left arm in, you put your left arm out, you put your left arm in, and you shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your head in, you put your head out, you put head in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. You put your down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. So anyway, that's where we'll start. That's what we did the first day, is basically learn 2 chords, this time a C and a G7, and we learned to make those changes between the 2 by doing it on the 8s and by doing it on the 4s, so our fingers get used to making that change. We started learning a song, and we just played 1 stroke on the chord changes. Put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, put your right foot in, and you shake it all about, and you do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. So that's where the chords change. And then we did it with the straight down strokes. And then we did it with the down, up, down, up, down, 3, 4, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then finally we did it with the down, up, stroke. So down, up, down, up, down, up. Put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in, and you shake key and you turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. All right, so those three things we'll start with. If you have any questions, let me know. And we need to find that. Hopefully that website will come back up so you can kind of read if you have not been to the first class. The rest of you who've played a little bit are kind of up to speed. And next time we'll do the same chords with all three strums with several other songs to kind of get that set as a beginning place. All right, take care.